Hi guys, wanted to make this video because there's a lot of lies in the internet, because people they want to say that the Bible, there's two gods, that the Old Testament God, it was an evil God, and that the New Testament God was a good God. It's a bunch of baloney. It's a bunch of lies. Granted, the Bible was altered in some ways throughout the years. A lot of the meanings has been lost through the translations. You know, that can't be taken away. Agreed. But people are confusing God's judgment with God being unjust, or there being two gods. I want you to understand, God has to pass judgment. God has to pass judgment on people. That's what he does. That's his job. If you are wicked and you are evil and you live a life that is unrepentant, God is going to destroy you. You know, God gives you many chances and opportunities to change. He gives people many opportunities and many chances. God can only put up with you so long. You know, when God, when the time of the flood, you know, God said that the sin is reaching the heavens. You know, that shows you how much God puts up with every day. He puts up with a lot of people's sin and pride. A lot of these pastors, he puts up with all their crap. And he, sooner or later, he just judges them. You know, they get sick, they die, they get cancer, all this stuff. Sooner or later, God judges you. And that's his right. That's reserved for his right. God uses other nations to wipe out other nations. That's God's right to judge you. He's not going to let the world continue in sin and destroying and going against his commandments. There aren't two gods in the Bible. You have to respect and fear God. If you don't respect and fear God, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. He is God and you are not. You have to respect God. He didn't send Jesus so that you can continue to disrespect him. Paul said that those who continue in their sin and in their ways, you know, they're headed for eternal damnation. You have to practice holiness. Turn away from evil. Jesus didn't come so you can continue sinning. Continue in your adultery. Continue stealing, lying, and doing anything that you please. That's not what Jesus came for. Jesus came to give us an opportunity to get in that ark and be saved. If you can get in the ark, you will be saved. If you can believe in him. Believing in Jesus doesn't mean you believing and doing things your way. It means turn your life around. Stop sinning and do holiness and do good. Jesus did not come to abolish the law. This is why all these different doctrines are destroying Christianity. Jesus did not come to abolish the law. He came to fulfill it for our sake. You know what that means? That means that he followed all the commandments of God for our sake, so that we now, in turn, can start to follow them. Not so that we can continue in our sin. All right? If you can believe in Jesus, can start to follow his commandments. Jesus is the Bible. He wrote the Bible. Jesus is the Word of God. He is the Word. That's why nobody could compete with him on earth. The Pharisees couldn't compete with him. The devil couldn't compete with him. Nobody. Because Jesus is the Word. Jesus is the author of the Bible. There aren't two gods, there's one God. Jesus wrote the Bible. Jesus expects you to follow the Bible. He didn't come to abolish the law. He came to fulfill the law. And additionally, he came to add on to the law. There aren't two gods. God is a just and holy God. He will punish you if you continue to practice sin. He will destroy you. There's no other option for you. All right? If you want to continue to follow sin and you want to continue to do evil, there's no other option but to be destroyed by God. God is not going to have a heaven on earth with evil, lying, murdering, deceitful, adulterous people in it. If you want to continue to practice evil and be deceitful and be and continue to serve money and mammon, then he's going to destroy you. There's no other option for you. There's no plan C. There's only plan A and plan B. You either get on the boat with Jesus and you follow what Jesus is telling you, or there's no other choice for you. You're going to be in hell with the angels, and you and the angels are going to be in hell in the lake of fire, or wherever God is sending you. You're not going to be on earth or in heaven. I'll tell you that right now. You know, Jesus came to the earth to show his love for us, to try to win people over with love, and to show us that he came to the world to love us. He gave us an opportunity to win us over through love, by love, and not by not as a task or slave master. That's why Jesus came to give us an opportunity and to show the world that he loves you and he loves us. You know, these commandments that he put, everybody on this earth has to obey them. That's the law of the land. Jesus is the law. We have to be doers and obeyers of the law. That's the law that Jesus is going to use for his kingdom. He doesn't want any of that stuff in his earth. He doesn't want murdering. He doesn't want stealing. He doesn't want adultery. He doesn't want lying. He doesn't want coveting. He doesn't want any of that in his earth. And I wouldn't either. I don't want that either. I wouldn't want that either in my heaven. And anyone who is an advocate of good wouldn't want that either for their heaven. Jesus is the judge. He is the king. He's going to judge the earth and the world. Anybody who's practicing sin and evil, he's going to judge. He's going to throw in the lake of fire. Jesus is a God of war. Psalms 144:1. The devil has made war against Jesus. Jesus is the master of war. You can't fight God. If you think you're going to fight God like the devil, you're wrong. You're going to lose. Jesus came, he set the law down, the commandments, and he came and he died unnecessarily for us because he loves us, to show the world that he loves us. What else does Jesus have to do for you to believe that he loves you? He's saying, look, I love you, I died for you. Please, this is the way things are. I want peace. I want love. I want unity in my earth and in my heaven. Please come and be with me. If you will believe me and you will humble yourself and follow me, you can have all these things that I have for you. You can have all the riches. You can have the new heaven, the new earth. You can have everything that I prepared for you from the beginning. You can have that. If you will just humble yourself and follow me and be guided by me. Let me show you how to be humble. Let me show you how to be holy. There's no other way. You can't run the show. You're not God. We have to do it God's way. We have to be obedient to him, and we have to do what he tells us to do and how to do it. You know, God made you in different ways. There's certain things in life, you know, you like certain things. You don't like certain things, but certain things has to be God's way. The peace and the love and the coexistence that God has for us, God is the one who's going to show us how to do it right.